Now the footwork application here, when we're doing the defensive cuts, all we're really concerning ourselves with at this moment, not all the footwork that we did before, we're really just concerning ourselves with the retreating V, or in Filipino martial arts terminology, we call this a male triangle, but retreating V is a little more descriptive for you guys. And we're also concerning ourselves with the left lateral, okay? So, the defensive cuts that we did with the follow-up, it's just the X pattern follow-up to the face. He gives me the angle 1. I move back at the 45-degree angle. While I'm moving back at the 45-degree angle, I'm cutting and passing his hand, cutting those flexor tendons, taking the knife away from him there, and then I can give just the X. Now, see how he turned? Okay? There's any number of things I could do right there, and if he turned that way again, if this were a real situation, I wouldn't just start arbitrarily slashing his face. I'd probably go right into that nice side of the neck that he's giving me. Put it in right there under his ear, get the base of his brain. But, you know, if the script calls for that, super. If it doesn't, do what the script calls for. And what we were doing today, just for simplicity and ease of motion, is just giving a simple X follow. Okay? He gives me the 2. I stop it, I check it, and simultaneously pass as I move around. Now, look where I am. I've got this all day long. Don't, without moving your feet, extend your knife to me. You can't. Okay? So this is what I was talking about before, about your footwork being the delivery system. Okay? You want to move yourself to a position where you can hit him, he can't hit you, without a major corrective action. And if he has to make any kind of corrective action, it's costing him time. Okay? You have no time to worry, or you have plenty of time here because you're in range. His weapon is out of range, and that's achieved by you doing that footwork. Okay? The angle 3 is identical to the angle 1, with the exception of the rule of the sternum. The center axis on the horizontal plane here. If it is above my sternum, everything is tip up, the knife and my fingers. If it's below my sternum, everything is tipped down, the knife and my fingers. Okay? So, Beanstalk pointed out earlier that it was like a scissoring action, and it is. So in typical Filipino martial arts terminology, these are called guntings. So if you look up YouTube videos, you can find plenty of examples of this stuff. Okay, so he gives me the 3, and the angle that I step off with on my footwork is identical to the 1. What I'm doing with my hands, freeze right there. What I'm doing with my hands is also identical to the 1. Go ahead and freeze it right there. The knife goes out, it gets the inside of the forearm, the left hand accelerates it through as I step off the line. Okay, so one more time all the way through on that. When he cuts it, I just go here. Ooh, good. Okay, just like that with the X following. The 2, it's almost the same as the 4, except down here, tip down. This one kind of breaks the rule because my fingertips are up here. But as I go through, they go tip down. Okay, so I meet it in this cross position this way. Blade, skin, swing it through. As I step around, same way you do on the 2. Okay, so here's the 4, he cuts it. There, right? And then the last one, the 5, is the same as the 1 and 3, kind of, except instead of obeying the rule of where we go metal and then skin, this one is skin and metal. Okay, so he thrusts, I do the lateral step to the side as I pass the hand, and so I'm never grabbing any of these, I'm just slapping them. Okay, tap that to the side, cut that forearm, slash to the face. Okay, as you see sometimes when I move in, if I'm like really close to that arm, you'll see me just kind of touch the tricep there. What I'm doing there is I'm controlling that arm so he can't come back at me. Come back and try to cut. It's an elbow control. So he really can't do that. The only opening or the only option he really has there is to spin around that way, which I'll cover there and I'll still get it. Okay? So again, little tiny things that we do to buy ourselves time. Okay? So one more time all the way through. He gives you the 1. He gives you the 2. He gives you the 3. He gives you the 4. He gives you the 5. That's the whole thing. And then the other variation we had on the 1 was moving in and catching it on the inside of the arm. So very slow on the 1 cut. Going in here, cutting here, checking it there, and then we get the X there. So you have 2 options on the 1. Okay? So that's the whole blade to blade basics. Good to go?